You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Ghost of Tsushima on the Steam Deck and on the ROG Ally. So welcome to the family, ROG Ally, how are you guys doing? Welcome. So the game released a few hours ago, and the developer said, hey, it works on Steam Deck, good. No matter what they said, I was going to play it on Steam Deck anyway, so it says that it's incompatible. But this is because of something that the developer said. That is that, let me check down here. We're happy to share that the single player experience, including Nikki Island, works. And it says that is due to the PlayStation Network thing, you cannot play online on your Steam Deck, at least not yet. So that's why it says that it doesn't work. It actually does. But the multiplayer doesn't. So let's give it a shot. Welcome back, guys. How's it going? It's been a while. Long time no see, comrades. Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Ghost of Tsushima on the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. How are you guys doing? Welcome. There we go. Yeah, this is the first live ROG Ally test. I hope you find it interesting. Okay, so it skipped the launcher completely, which is interesting. So let's see the default settings. The default settings, okay, native res, FSR 3 with a 30 FPS dynamic resolution. Okay, let's start with those settings first. And medium settings, wow. Okay. Interesting. This is the setting that I was going to use anyway, so that's interesting. We're going to try it without dynamic res, but I like to try first the normal settings that come with the game. So 800p medium plus dynamic res 30 FPS. No, there's no original setting. It's very low, medium, high, or very high. And let me see if I can increase the size of the screen. Standard, expert, no. Widescreen scale, no. Okay, I cannot increase the size of what's on the screen. Accessibility, maybe. Large text. Okay, we can use large text like my mother on the phone uses huge text. Okay, gotcha. Let's go.
Did you find any samurai to free your uncle?
Okay.
Not yet, but I'm still searching.
With dynamic res, here we're getting 30s. It's a bit unstable though. Let's try without dynamic res, just as a first things first. Just to see what happens. It's actually better than dynamic resolution. Okay. Fine. That's funny. FSR 3 quality. Okay, so FSR 3 quality. Frame generation doesn't work. Interesting. No ray tracing. I already responded in the previous stream. There's no ray tracing on this. Okay. Guys, don't use dynamic resolution. Use FSR or XeSS on quality. And I think there is not much to discuss here. Looks pretty clear to me that you need to play on medium, which looks way better than low.
To believe I might see him soon.
He's lucky to have you.
He might disagree.
Yeah, dynamic res doesn't always work on PC well. In this it works horribly bad. I don't know why.
Lord Shimura
It was
is my
dropping below
only family.
30.
What will you do when he's free?
Take a breath. Because then I'll know there's hope for our island.
You feel that strongly?
I've watched him win victory against impossible odds.
But hey,
And after your brother is free, what then?
Honestly,
how the hell
I haven't had time to think about it.
does it run so well? I have no idea.
You're riding well. How are your wounds?
Mostly healed.
But medium,
Your
I
bandages did the
think,
trick.
looks pretty good in this game. Looks similar to
Share
high,
much
but
about
with
what you
worse
see.
draw
Do
distance
you?
and worse reflections. But we're playing this portably
I
on the
suppose
Steam
you're
Deck.
right. My uncle taught me that a samurai master.
I mean, it runs better than on the 1050 Ti when it comes to the
blade.
frame consistency. On the 1050 Ti, it was stuttering like crazy.
Easy.
So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's running on Steam Deck, I agree. It's insane.
There's a spot up ahead that overlooks the river.
Should give
Super
us a
happy
good
to
view
see
of the
this
Mongol
running
camp.
so well. They actually made a good port. Imagine a good port in 2024. I love doing this. Hey, Helder Meyer, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Can I jump this? There we go. Best horse in the planet. Okay, I'll jump there.
There's the camp. Tough to get inside.
The Mongols threw that place together in days. There has to be a way in. Let's look.
Can you lock 30? I mean, yeah, you can, but I think it's fine like this. The frame rate lock to 30 on the Steam Deck on the Steam Deck OS. I think it's a little bit too much latency, in my opinion.
Formidable.
Thanks, Mars. I appreciate that.
You could scale the rocks on that side.
If they're loose, they might give way. Alert the guards.
Yeah, they definitely put some work into this.
The front wall there is still under construction.
Could be a way in.
A huge W.
We can look for a gap in the front
Yeah, it's
wall.
using FSR,
Sneak
obviously.
inside.
And cut down the Mongols where they
I mean,
stand.
you can disable it if you want to, but you're
Something
going to
goes
drop
wrong.
below 30.
They'll kill the prisoners.
And it's a small screen.
I've seen them
You're
do
not
it.
going to notice it much,
We
honestly.
have to go in quietly.
I use a lot of... And it's not FSR 1, it's FSR 3.
What's wrong with that?
Before the samurai, this island was ruled.
Helder Meyer, bueno. Va a estar bueno.
We changed that by creating.
How many
order
watts?
and delivering
Yeah, sure, I
justice
can
in the
unplug it.
open.
Give me 1 sec, the screen is going to flash. Don't be scared. Let's see, battery life. Thanks for the heads up. I always forget about battery life. There we go.
We live by a code of.
Okay,
honor.
so according to this, it's using like 20 watts
We died
in
by
total. The screen plus all the components
Just wanted to give
inside.
us a safer home.
So we're talking about,
Same
if it's
thing.
20 something watts, it's probably
We
90
have to
minutes of
fight
battery.
back.
1.5 hours. Yeah, I'm going to do combat as soon as the game allows
Never
me
break our code.
to actually get out of the cutscene.
To save my family.
Do you sharpness setting in Steam Deck? In this case, I'm not using it because I'm not using the Steam Deck's FSR. I'm using the one inside the game that looks better.
See what we're up against.
We
Can you lock
wait
the game
until
to
he
9
gets
watts? Sure. Let me first get into combat.
back. Taka. He's been through a lot. Even before the invasion.
But you took care of him.
Someone had to. He hated when I stole. But it was that or starve. I didn't have a choice.
I didn't choose to be a samurai either. But going against my
Okay, so now I'm going to have to go through
It's better than getting wiped
the
out.
training cutscene again.
We fight back.
It's trash.
Any way we can.
through here.
Okay, let me try super quickly the 10 watt thing. Okay, 9 watts. Not sure if that worked, but we got a lower frame rate. The thing is, the 9 watts is only for the APU. It's not the entire thing. Remember that we are also powering a screen over here. So you lose some frames, but you're still there. When will you do ROG Ally? Right after this. Let's see how low we can push it. Okay, less than 8 watts. Okay, 9 watts just to be sure. So yeah, you can actually cap it there. Unlock it to 30, you should be good to go. So 9 watts. And the frame limit to 30. So plus 9 watts plus 30 FPS gap. Okay. So what's using 9 watts is the entire APU. Doesn't include the screen, okay? And well, over 2 hours of battery. Unlock to 30 for maximum battery life.
If they see us.
Yeah, Nyx is absolute wizards.
We better stay quiet.
I never thought this was going to be possible, honestly. I'm super impressed. Hopefully it stays at 30 across the board, like this, but... But yeah. You want to play Bloodborne on bed? Man, me too. How about FSR? We're already using FSR. Yeah, temperatures are pretty good, considering the graphics.
What do you think, Jin?
Are they doing all the benchmarks for Steam Deck, ROG and 3060 at the same time? Right now,
Remain alert.
kinda. We have the ROG Ally over here.
Keep after him.
So once I finish with the Steam Deck, we are definitely going to try on ROG Ally. Did you miss the 1050 Ti? Yes, you did. It's the previous live stream. You can find it on my channel.
They don't. But the fighting in Yarikawa drove some this way.
So it's the rebels' fault.
So good, these are the battery settings.
We are not barbarians, Jin.
And so far so good. I'm super impressed that I can lock the APU to 9 watts,
Is it time?
lock it to 30 and have more than 2 hours of battery.
Getting closer.
Yeah, I thought I would never see the day. Yeah, I mean, the OLED Steam Deck is going to have even longer battery life, so that's going to be
Control your emotions.
huge for Steam Deck OLED users. And this game with HDR, oh my god, looks so good. With HDR, it's kind of crazy.
This arrow should not have killed him.
Oh, examine, of course.
Look, Uncle. There's a gash in his side. Not from an arrow.
Yeah, it's perfect. I don't know how they did it. I'm blown away.
An assassin! From Yarikawa! Traitor! You would stand
Yeah,
and
good
stone the
point.
back!
2 hours and a half with a full battery. Yeah, good point.
Yourself.
Yeah, this is
We
Nyx's.
are not criminals.
How do you have HDR? I don't have HDR on the Steam Deck. I was talking about the game itself on HDR. I played it on the PS5 on an HDR screen. It looked incredible. So imagine on the Steam Deck OLED.
Teach him a samurai.
Well, technically this is an AMD GPU. So
And take his life. With honor.
you'll set your OLED switch for a deck. Definitely a huge difference. Oh, my 9 watts
When we fight,
disappeared again. What the hell? There we
we
go.
face our enemy head on.
Sometimes it disables itself. I don't know why. What the
When
hell?
we take their life, we look them in the eye.
There we go.
Courage and respect.
Try 40 FPS.
is
Maybe.
what makes
What
us
is the
samurai.
settings preset? Medium settings. Yeah, without nerd stuff, you just go right into it. What's hours? What do you mean hours? How much time on battery? 2.5 hours. With the 9-watt cap, you should be good.
Jim,
Yeah, PlayStation, bad PlayStation fans are going to cry more. Because most people are happy that the game can be played by more people.
Let's find your brother.
HRS was an acronym? Maybe.
We can't let them see us.
use all your senses. Think and
LCD or OLED? This is the LCD deck. The OLED can probably hit 40s with these settings. And thank you so much, Soul Sleeper, for the super generous 23.99 euros donation. Man, you basically paid for the entire 3 days of videos of mine. Thank you so much, sir. He says, "Sir, thank you for your dedicated content. You have the most objective Steam Deck performance reviews. I've used about all of them. Cheers." Thank you so much, man. You're great. You really helped me a lot there. You don't even know how much that means to me. Combat. So to sum up, 30 FPS, medium settings. If you lock it to 9 watts, you got over 2 hours of battery easily. And it works pretty well. It's super impressive. Yeah, he's a Giga Chad. Come on. Lose your posture. Reduce to atoms. Does anyone know why I have a dark TV screen on the Steam Deck docked? Maybe it's the RGB profile. Go into the color options and make sure you're on full RGB instead of limited, or the other way around. If it's on full RGB, put it on limited.
no.
That should be there in the color options on the display settings on the Steam Deck. That's probably why it's dark. Probably the wrong RGB values. How do you screen capture the game? I'm using a capture card and a separate computer, hence
Come on.
why there is no FPS hit. Nah, I'm kidding. I have a huge Steam Deck that is 5 times my size, and I'm pointing a camera at it. And man, Elder Mayor, thank you so much for the 10 euros donations. You guys basically paid for an entire week of videos. And Connor R with the $10. Thank you so much, guys. He says, get some more money. I'm sure you got enjoyment. Oh, you got enjoyment out of the content. You're the best Steam Deck channel around. Any chance to see you on the Nerdcast? Never heard about Nerdcast, but sure. I'll be super happy to be there. And Connor, thanks for your first donation. He says, really enjoy all the breakdowns and videos put out on Steam Deck. Keep up the great work and great content. Thanks, man. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. You basically, with those donations, you paid for the game. Because I buy basically all the games unless I get a code.
Let's get to
So yeah, I can actually make a profit out of this video. That's crazy.
Are you
Yeah,
with
it's
Straw
the
Hat Rowan?
LCD Steam Deck.
I was. Cut ties with them after they started running low on rations.
So thank you so much for the support. This also means that I can make more ROG Ally stuff and compare it with the Steam Deck as well.
The other Straw Hats maybe. Last I heard they were hunting.
But the fact that this works as well as it does blows my mind. So just for the fun of it, let's disable the TDP limit. Let's unlock the frame rate. Why didn't you pirate it? Because I want to have it as soon as it comes out, and I want PlayStation to release more games on PC, so it's the right thing to do. Let's try a 40 FPS cap. And Electric Pichu, thank you so much for the 100 Israeli shekels. And you're getting the biggest donation for the day. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Alright. So now, let's try 40s. Let me see if balance or performance. Okay. Maybe balance makes a bit more sense. And instead of 800p, we're doing 720. Okay. So 720. Medium FSR3 balanced. .40 FPS target. And let's see how this goes. Okay, so far so good.
This way.
Okay,
We're looking for my brother. A blacksmith
seems to be
named
doable.
Taka.
Don't know him. But
Let's get out of this part though. I want to be in a bigger fort because it's probably going to drop outside of this
You
situation.
said they were moving the
Apparently
slaves.
world is healing.
Where?
Hell yeah.
mentioned Asimo Bay.
Frame generation doesn't
And
work,
there was a
unfortunately.
blacksmith in the last
I
group.
tried,
Young man with a beard.
but in the menu is grayed out.
Yarikawa
You cannot
maybe.
enable it, unfortunately, on
You'd
Steam
better
Deck.
be right.
So
I
yeah,
hope to find
it will be a
blacksmith.
great thing to have, actually. What textures is it on?
Taka's alive.
We are
in
on
Asmo
medium
Bay.
textures.
The town is surrounded
Yeah,
by
we
walls.
might be able to push the
Pushing
textures
him
to
without a
high,
plan will
actually.
only put him in more danger.
I have a friend who might be able to get us inside.
Yeah, this game deserves a verified thing. Although it's not verified because the multiplayer
Jin,
doesn't work on Steam Deck due to the PSN
Taka will
stuff,
forge
apparently.
whatever tool you need as soon as he's
So
free.
that's probably going to be fixed eventually. But
After
this
that-
is, at least on the single player, to me, it's verified.
You've seen what the Mongols are doing here.
Santiago
Tsushima can
approves.
stop them. Stay. Help us fight for a home.
Home is wherever Taka and I go.
Sí, te parece el stream de PC, Batrox. Lo lamento. Está ya subido igual.
My
Y
friend
muchas gracias,
mentioned
Marco
this one
Antonio,
picture.
por los 200
On the
pesos
border with
mexicanos. Se
Tsushima.
agradece un montón.
I'll
Muchas
follow.
gracias. Yeah, it's 90
this wasn't
degrees,
easy.
but don't worry. As long as it doesn't hit
Going
95,
against your code.
you should be good.
But I had to.
Thank you.
Remember Dragon's Dogma 2 situation? We don't talk about Dragon's Dogma. And I'm sorry guys that I cannot skip the cutscenes. I'm not sure why it uses so little system RAM. On my PC it was using like 10 gigabytes.
Convince your people to stop resisting.
Okay, this is a cutscene.
Can walk free.
Stop wasting my
Yeah,
time.
I could try modding in frame gen.
Kill me.
That's a good idea. Although that we would have to wait for a separate video because
You've lost
I already spent too much time on this.
but your nephew is still alive.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 was painful.
They build war camps near your
What are you
town.
drinking?
They see
Water.
everything, and they will find him.
Lord Sakai will fight until his last breath.
Is the LCD deck? The LCD deck, yeah. I don't have an OLED because it's too expensive in my country. It's like double the
Just
price.
as you love your people,
And I think it's the best deal right
your
now.
father to them. Will you abandon your children?
Maybe this gaming company hired better gaming port employees. Yeah, I mean, Nix's is probably Nix's has back pain because of they're basically taking in all the responsibility. Everything is coming from them now. They have PlayStation ports on their back. They're carrying the entire company right now. Do you think Sony learned their lesson after The Last of Us 1? I mean, I hope so. I hope so because think about it like this. When you're selling something on Steam, if people don't like something, or you do something you shouldn't be doing, they're going to refund the hell out of your game. So you lose money. Sony, on the other hand, on PlayStation, even if you download the freaking game on your PlayStation, only download it, not even launch it, they do not give you a refund. They're like, screw you. So I think they're learning from that mistake. Okay, 40 seems to be pretty difficult. Let me look into 40 using external methods. We're going to lower the settings as well. This is a little bit much. Why 30 looks smoother than 45? Because we're on a 60 Hz screen. That's why. It's unfortunate. Shadows on low, level of detail low, volumetrics. Oh, interesting. Volumetrics on low. We keep reflections, SSAO performance, and yeah, that's probably going to do it. Let's call it mid-low. Yeah, mid-low. And we restart the game, of course. So FSR3 balance, 40 FPS target, and let me lock the frame rate with external methods. Otherwise, it's not going to be super clear, because when I'm on the capture card, I cannot lock it to 40, because that's not how it works, unfortunately. My capture card doesn't like to work with me. Hang on. I remember I had to put a command for this. I think I put it in Cyberpunk. There we go. Worth the price? In my opinion, is one of the best games ever. So if you ask me, Ghost of Tsushima fanboy, there we go. I'm probably going to tell you that it's worth the price. But remember that to play online, you need a PSN account. That's the only thing that I'll think about. But the game itself is quality. So which preset am I using here? Well, first of all, this command is to lock it at 40 by default. So if you put this, the game will hard lock to 40. You can do this with any game on the Steam Deck. And this should give us 40s no matter what. Yeah, I mean, play it again on PC. I loved it on PS5 as well. Do you think they'll give us Bloodborne? I don't know, man. I would think that Bloodborne is coming if they ever release a remaster or something like that, or even a PS5 patch. If that's the case, I'm guessing it's coming to PC, but Sony doesn't seem to care, and they closed the studio that made Bloodborne, so I don't know. No, I cannot separate those options, Dingo. If I'm using the separate refresh rate and frame rate option, the old one, it'll say 60, and then when it hard lock to 30, it doesn't allow me to be in between, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, for Bloodborne, we have to wait for the PS4 emulator. Japan, yeah, it's from Software, but Japan Studio as well. Okay, let's see, with a hard lock to 40, what happens. Well, Bluepoint could actually do it, now that I think about it. Yeah, good point. Okay. Seems to be close. Hopefully it stays that way, but I'll play it at 30. 30 feels good in this game. Whoops. So let me show you the settings. 720, so you have black bars on the top and bottom probably. VSync. Oh, I had VSync on. LMAO. Yeah, if we're playing 720, force 16:9. Balanced FSR3. Don't use dynamic resolution, it's broken. And I'm using high textures, low shadows, low level of detail, medium terrain, low volumetrics. Like you see it here, basically. Oh, nice. Download finish. Well, have fun, man. Great game. Okay, let's see if we can stick to 40s somehow. Let me check the map though. I want to go to the Golden Temple.
Sensei Ishikawa might be able to help me. If he's alive.
Yeah, I mean, 16:10 is there, but select 800p. I'm doing 720p to get some extra headroom on the GPU. It's not that 16:10 is not supported. For 40 FPS, my advice is to put 720 to have some lower pixel count. And then at the same time, put those bars so the image is not stretched. Yeah, Bloodborne is probably locked to to PS4 and 5. Make a poll about what will come first, Bloodborne or GTA 6. That's a good idea. And thanks again for the donation, Electric Pichu. I appreciate that. Are you into afraid of the sun ray hitting your chest as a gamer? I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to have some skincare issue if I do that. ROG Ally, yeah, coming in a few seconds. Let me get to the Golden Temple and start the poll. Which one will arrive? Bloodborne remake / remaster, GTA 6. Probably GTA 6, but what can you do? Yeah, the Steam Deck OLED is going to be an even better experience, so nothing to worry about. We're going to have a great time. I mean, if the LCD deck can do this, imagine the Steam Deck OLED with the HDR. Man. Oh, Sony lost the source code? Dang it! If they actually lost the source code... Oh man, that's so Konami, not having source codes for their older games. Yeah, definitely GTA 6. Well, yeah, good point, Electric Pichu. The dog ate it. Yeah, the dog ate the code. We don't know how Bloodborne works. Please help us. Yeah, I think a Bloodborne decompilation is going to arrive sooner than a PC port. Without a doubt. Somebody's going to make it work. Okay, yeah, I mean, games, guys, don't buy games at full price. Especially on PC. They usually, a few months after release, get discounted. And this one should be no exception. I mean, let's be honest here. It's alright, man. I understand. Okay, am I in the Golden Temple yet? Yeah, GTA 6, once it comes to PC, it'll be my most watched stream, definitely. I mean, my most watched stream was Cyberpunk 2077. I had 6,000 people at the peak time of the live stream. Okay, so this is what I wanted to try. Okay, the Golden Temple is still fine. The GPU suffers a bit more, but... I mean, we do not have combat in the Golden Temple. Yeah, so some inconsistent frame times when moving around. But other than that, 40s is possible. Although you gotta sacrifice the settings, but... and the resolution. So my advice to close the Steam Deck stuff is this. Let me show you correctly. What kind of graphical settings are you using? I'm using medium to low. Let me show you. It's super quick. Settings that I recommend for most people. 16:10, 800p, FSR 3 on quality. Then on graphics, use the medium preset. Maybe high textures, I'm not entirely sure on that one yet. So medium preset with high textures. And after you do all that, you can either play it on locked frame rates like this, unlocked, or you can lock it to 30 FPS, put the wattage to 9 watts instead of 15, keep it on 9 watts, and there you go. Although 9 watts is a little bit too low maybe. Let me try 10 watts. There we go. 10 watts. And you should have basically 2 hours of battery. Although, yeah, the wattage here I think is too low. Yeah. Never mind. So if you don't mind 90 minutes of battery, you can play it like this. Has some drops here and there, unfortunately. Seems to be a thing with the Golden Temple. But in essence, the settings are those. Basically medium. Also, I didn't restart the game. I'm an idiot. Medium preset, quality FSR 3, lock it to 30, maybe put the wattage at 9 to 10 watts. In some areas it's going to drop though, so if you're looking for battery life, 9 or 10 watts. And it looks pretty good. I'm super impressed. 10 watts can happen, but in some areas it's going to drop. So yeah, amazing job for the Steam Deck. Let's now swap to the ROG Ally. Let's see what happens. So thank you Steam Deck for all that you give us. Blew me away. It's time to swap for the ROG Ally. So one sec, I'm going to swap my scene collection. This is an LCD Steam Deck. Okay, now I have the ROG Ally background. And we turn it on. You hear me now? Hi? Yeah, you can. Sorry guys. Welcome back. I apologize. Okay, I have a lot of stuff here. Hang on. Let's do this correctly. First of all, let me open Afterburner. There we go. Because I put all my stuff in the MSI overlay, because the Asus overlay has basically nothing. Let's close this and open Steam. Well, actually we have Ghost of Tsushima right here, so that's useful. And let's see how it goes. This will be probably, we're going to start with 1080p just because we can. We are plugged in. 1080p medium plus probably FSR 3, but let's first talk about that. 30 watt turbo mode. So this is plugged in. Yeah, I mean, no, the RGB on the sticks gives you 2000% performance boost. Bet you didn't know that, huh? Okay. So what does the game recommend us to do? The game recommends dynamic, yeah, we're not doing dynamic resolution. It doesn't work well. So FSR 3 quality 1080p. Oh, the game recommends high settings. Okay. You know what? Challenge accepted. Let's try high. Why not? Let's be unreasonable. For the curious, we're playing on 30 watt turbo mode, which only works when you're plugged in. After that, don't worry, we're trying the other mode. And 16:9. And no VSync for now. We have VRR. We'll see what happens. The game says, hey dude, do high settings. That's hilarious. All right. Yeah, 1080p, I don't know, but you never know. Let me double check the settings. By the way, we're compiling shaders, that's why the CPU is maxed out. 1080p quality FSR3. What happens if I do not use FSR3? 1080p native. Oh. I'm trying to kill the ROG Ally. Alright. So high settings, let me increase the anisotropic filtering. Okay, so let's see what happens with native 1080p. Maybe I'm being a little bit too aggressive, but that's what I like. So let's see what happens. Once the CPU stops being like at 100%, we're going to start the game. Because it's compiling shaders. And the Ally is screaming. I mean, the CPU is at 95 degrees. Yeah, the CPU doesn't like that at all. Okay. We finished compiling shaders, so the temperature will drop. Pretty cool. And let's see. Again, 1080p, I think it's overkill for a handheld. Yeah, native 1080p is too much. Still commendable. So let's do FSR3 on quality. Okay. So FSR3 quality on 1080p with the turbo mode. Okay. How the hell did they do this? Guys, this is a handheld. How are we getting close to 30 FPS with these settings? What's going on here? Okay, here it kind of dies though. Okay. I don't consider this a 1080p machine, but we're on high settings, so we have still room to improve things. Let's go to medium. Let's give it a break for a second. Poor ROG Ally. Alright. There we go. So high was too much, obviously. Medium. Yeah, I mean, this, guys, if you're playing like this, please, for the love of God, you need to be plugged into the wall, okay? That's why it's turbo mode. If you play like this without being plugged in, it's less than 1 hour of battery. So don't get me wrong, this is super impressive for a handheld, but less than 1 hour of battery. Think about it. Let's see what happens if I go for the realistic 15 watt mode. So at 30 watts on the APU, we get actually 36 FPS here, but if I go for performance, which is 15 watts, we drop all the way down, obviously, because we're starving this for power. Uses way less power, so we lose quite a few frames. So in this case, you basically should do 720p, which again, for a handheld 1080p, I think is a waste of resources. Let's be honest here. So yeah, that's what you should do. If you care about battery life, you definitely want to play at 720. And again, considering the size of the screen, 1080p I think is a waste on newer games like this. So 720p, again, we're at 15 watts now. This means around total system power will be like 30 watts maybe. 90 minutes of battery. On medium settings, 720 FSR, this is 720. And there you go. Let's see how it goes. I'm scared. Wrong description? What do you mean? Oh, I just changed it. Thanks, man. Alright, so if you want decent battery life, play at 720p medium settings with quality FSR, and you'll be good.
Do you need a swordsmith, my lord?
It works. But again, if you are a person that really doesn't care about battery life, you get a massive performance boost. I mean, it's the difference between 30 and 60 FPS. I mean, it's very obvious, right? Just look at that difference. Yeah, this is worse than the Steam Deck at 15 watts. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of room to improve, but you really should use the turbo mode. So while the performance is impressive, it's not that impressive at 15 watts. Whoops. So again, talking about handheld stuff. Let me see if I use the 40 FPS settings for the Steam Deck that I used. So for that, let's try the 40 FPS configuration from the Steam Deck, which lowered this, and lowered this. And no motion blur. There we go. And on display 720, like on the Steam Deck. And with balanced FSR 3. So FSR balanced. 720p mid-low. And there you go. 15 watts performance, FSR balanced. Let's see. Whoops, wrong keyboard. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar to the Steam Deck when it comes to performance at 15 watts. But very slightly ahead. So again, for battery life, consider 40 FPS. Although the ROG Ally doesn't have, I mean, the VRR window in the ROG Ally is 48 to 120 FPS. So we're outside of the VRR window, unfortunately. So it's pretty similar, although here it drops harder than the Steam Deck. So yeah. No, it looks the same on the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, actually. So yeah, pretty similar to the Steam Deck when it comes to the performance. But again, I would probably play it on Steam Deck instead, just for the better battery life. But if you are on your house and you don't care plugging it in, you can actually just do medium at 720, in my opinion. This is one of the options. Medium settings, 720. And FSR 3 quality. And we go for turbo. And there you go. And well, this increases the temperature quite significantly. But you get almost double the frame rate in this game at least. And you are inside the VRR window. Well, oh, let me see if there is frame generation. Good question, man. Although it's not great. Yeah, there is frame generation. Hopefully it doesn't crash the game. Okay, so this is the solution inside of the game for frame gen. And with frame generation plus the turbo mode, you get a lot of FPS. The thing is, the edges of the screen don't look great with frame generation, at least in my opinion, in this game. And I got crashes when using it. Yeah, there's some... Well, maybe it's the overlay, actually. But still. So if you want to use frame generation, you can, but it's not 100% perfect. We'll be testing OLED deck. Unfortunately, I don't have one. Expect a few extra frames over the LCD version. But again, if you're playing this without being plugged to the wall, or you don't care that you will have less than an hour battery, use the turbo mode. Otherwise, if you're not using turbo mode, you'll get half the frame rate on this game. I mean, it speaks by itself. The difference is insane with turbo versus 15 watts. I went to get food for a second, boom, 90 FPS. Yeah, frame generation magic, basically. We're usually into the 50s, so it's a good enough frame rate for frame gen. But in this game, I don't think it's a great implementation so far. I mean, it works, but I got crashes. And, well, some weird frames here and there. But it works. And the frame generation is from the game itself, so it's better than AFMF. Oops. Okay. So that's plugged in. And what would I do personally? Well, if I'm trying to play this portably, I'm very far away from a power source for some reason. 720p quality upscaling and no frame generation, because the frame rate otherwise generating from 30 is not great. So 720p, basically medium settings, and in the modes we're doing 15 watts. Hold up. 15 watts. And this should give you like 90 minutes battery, basically. Actually, now it runs even better than before. Hang on, do I have frame gen on? No. Okay, disregard what I said before. Now it's fine. What the hell? Now it actually runs pretty good at 15 watts. What the hell is wrong with this? Maybe it was a bug or something? Okay, I'm confused. This is not turbo mode, this is performance war. Okay. So maybe there was something in the background. Whoa. Yeah, it's a golden temple when I drop frames the most. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, when the leaves go up in the air, I drop frames. Interesting. Let me see. If I go turbo. Yeah, with turbo mode I get like 10 frames more. Yeah, maybe there was something in the background that was performance starving my stuff over here. Although it still drops into the 30s at times. Yeah, it's inconsistent. Maybe I should restart the game. Can't see the body in Steam Deck. What? Let me save. we're going to retry. Because something doesn't add up to me. Well, let's close this. Armory crate, no thanks. So as I was saying, on Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. If you're doing 15 watts, which you should, to have 1.5 hours of battery, put it like this. Basically medium preset with high textures. And it should be good. If you want to use frame generation, do it, but it's not great at 15 watts. And if you're doing 30 watts, plug to the wall, you can do these same settings, but it will be into the 50s. So there you can use frame generation. So let's try this once again. Let me see if there is something in the background going on. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything. All right. So let's try it once again at 15 watts. Let's see what kind of performance we get now. Yeah, I'm reloading the game now. Let's try that again. Maybe it was a misfire. Yeah, this is a ROG Ally. I already tried the Steam Deck. Yeah, it seems to be the Golden Temple. Yeah, the Golden Temple, I don't know why it stutters so much. It did it sometimes in the other part, but... maybe because there's a lot of NPCs? Or too many leaves in the ground? I have no idea. Yeah, that seems to be the difficult part for some reason. Yeah, MSI Claw, ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, it's actually more stable now. I think it was just a Golden Temple being annoying with us. Yeah, maybe it's running out of RAM actually. Yeah, it's using almost all the RAM. I should actually lower those textures then. I hate that Windows uses so much RAM. It's ridiculous. Okay, that's better. I think it was the texture quality actually. But still, there are moments where it drops pretty hard. No, this is not high settings. The textures weren't high, but I thought we had enough memory. Apparently not. So, alright. So for portable play, I would say 720p medium FSR quality on the 15 watt mode. That should mean 90 minutes of battery. You can go with lower settings if you want to and be closer to 40, but it's not 100% consistent, unfortunately. Which the Steam Deck on power efficiency really destroys the ROG Ally when it comes to, again, efficiency. Oh no, I'm going to die. So let me try to get higher frame rates by lowering the settings. Goes of VRAM, definitely. So, balanced FSR 3. Low level of detail, so we have worse draw distance, that's okay. Lower shadows. Volumetric fog. Okay, so this will be medium to low. We're trying now to get more consistent frame rates. So FSR balanced. Medium low. And we're at 720p. Okay, this is way better now. Yeah, it seems to be the Golden Temple area that's destroying the performance for some reason. And I died. Legendary samurai killed by a pig. Okay, now it makes sense. I think it was the textures being on high that we were running out of memory. Now instead of using 16 gigabytes of RAM, we're using 10 gigs and 3 gigs of VRAM, so 13 gigs. We have 3 gigabytes available now. Okay, that makes more sense now. And now we're inside the VRR window, so that's awesome. It's just that the Golden Temple is pretty taxing. So yeah. Yeah, this is the difficult section, to say it in some way. Interesting. But make sure to keep those textures on medium, otherwise you're going to have a bad time, like I did at the beginning. So yeah, for 15 watts, use this configuration if you want more than 30 FPS. Personally, I would stay on medium and play at 30 FPS for more battery life. And if you either are plugged into the wall or don't care about battery life, we're going to do turbo mode. So 30 watt mode. I wouldn't call this a portable experience, but since we have a much higher frame rate, we can now actually go into the options and enable frame generation if you want to be closer to the refresh rate of the ROG Ally. Although again, it's not stable 100% of the time. Plus frame gen. Alright. So those are the settings: balanced FSR, medium to low settings, 720p. And there you go. If you're plugged in, you can play like this. Which is a good option to have, actually. If you don't care and you are, I don't know, in a cafe with a plug in the wall, and you plug it in, you're good to go. You can get very, very high frame rates. So it would be like 60 FPS without frame gen, and with frame gen you get like 120. So yeah, pretty cool. You could even push the FSR, the XeSS, let's try XeSS. The XeSS to quality, probably. Hopefully it doesn't crash like before. There we go. XeSS looks a bit soft though. Yeah, I'm not a fan of XeSS on this one. Actually, FSR looks better on this one. There we go. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. So quality, FSR, frame generation, medium to low settings. Yeah, the CPU is at 95C. We're probably throttling, although it's very hot in here right now, so I'm being unreasonable when it comes to that, unfortunately. What am I missing? Oh yeah, the graphics. No, don't go for high. Okay. And the other option, if you don't mind either, is medium settings, although it doesn't feel amazing. But with frame gen, you can get something like this. Yeah, 900p is also an option, but allow me a second to show this on 1080p. So that's my advice if you're plugged in and you don't mind playing at 720, but let's say you want to play at 900p. I'm so glad you asked. We can actually do it. Let's disable frame gen though. Can you do 20 watts? Unfortunately, it's either 15 watts, 25 watts, or 30 watts. There's no in between. Which completely sucks. At least from a user standpoint, I don't know how to do that. which they should add the option, really. Give me a second. Yeah, we're going to try 1080p as well, don't worry. So 900p now. Medium, no FSR, no frame gen. Just raw 900p. Okay, and we're at medium settings. And you're basically at 30 FPS. You can set manual watts. Oh yeah, there's a manual one. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot that you can create your own. I wish there was a slider like on the Steam Deck. Let me do it super quickly. I completely forgot about this. I'm sorry, I got it 3 days ago. Yeah, I might do one of Ally and versus deck. Give me 1 sec. I want to do my custom thing, operating mode. You go into manual. In this case, it's plugged in, so we keep it at 20 watts. 20. Hopefully this doesn't kill anything. Yeah, whatever. Okay, let's try 20 watts super quickly. Yeah, there's a slider like the Steam Deck, but I don't see it in real time inside the game. I have to open Armory Crate. Okay, we're at 20 watts now. Okay, actually runs pretty similar at 20 watts. Let me see. At 20 watts we're getting 34 FPS. And if I go into turbo... Okay, we get 4 FPS more. Actually, 20 watts might be the best of both worlds. Thanks, guys. I forgot completely that there's... Oh, here's the sliders. Man, I love you guys. Thank you so much for reminding me that this exists. I feel like an idiot now. This is probably the best setting for quality and battery. So it's a lot of power still, but you should get lots more battery life. Let me check very quickly. More VRAM? Yeah, I need more. Let me see what happens, how much battery life we got if I unplug it. I'll have a black screen. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, 22 watts, which will also be good. Give it a sec. I unplug the battery. Let's rip and tear the battery until it is done. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So, in which mode are we? 15 watts. Ha! Funny. I have to do another profile for this. Hang on. Man. Because the profile I made only applied when I'm plugged in. There we go, battery. 20. Okay. So now we have a 20 watt profile. Awesome. Yeah, you found me live. We're live. And let me close the game because I minimized it way too many times. And let's see how much power we get to use. So let's stay at 900p for now on medium settings. So we're at 20 watts on battery. It should, at least. Although at the top right corner it says 31 watts, so we're actually using more than 20 watts. But the 20 watts is for the APU. Yeah, the UI on the Steam Deck is way better, without a doubt. Okay, actually I think 20 watts, the custom 20 watts is the best of both worlds. We're using 32 watts, so it's probably like an hour and 20 minutes of battery, give or take. Which is not bad. I mean, considering it's a ROG Ally. We're playing on 900p medium. Are we at native resolution? That's a good question. Yeah, we're at native 900p, guys. So if you're playing on battery, you can actually get like an hour and 20 minutes. Something like that. At 900p, 30 FPS. Although I'll probably use FSR, because sometimes it drops into 29 or something like that.
What's that? All right.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, definitely not native. If you want to use native, use the turbo mode. Otherwise, yeah, doesn't make sense. Okay, FSR 3 quality. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it. Because again, I don't think 1080p is worth the effort on the Ally. Medium settings, FSR quality, 900p. Oh yeah, this is way better. Thank you so much, guys, for the 20 watt advice. You really saved me on that one. Thanks for the help. Yeah, this is awesome. And on the smaller screen, 900p will look sharper than 720, although I would probably realistically play at 720 on a smaller screen. Yeah, you can also use frame gen, although at a frame rate like this, I wouldn't enable it. Probably at 720 I would, though. Do you know how to change the VRAM? Yeah, but I don't think it's necessary right now. We're good like this. Alright, so the quality preset, to say it in some way, I would say is... I got 900p. Whoops. So if you just care about visuals, 900p, FSR 3 quality, medium settings. If you do that, you should be good to go. If you want to use frame gen, go for it, but this is the sharpest that you should be able to go. 1080p is also doable, but I will do it on turbo mode. Let's try 720. Yeah, I mean, frame gen works, but it crashed the game for me a couple times. But I would do it at 720 just because we have a higher base frame rate. I mean, here that we have 47 FPS. Let me go 720. I mean, here you could actually do frame gen if you want to. Although I feel like it's a little bit too low to do frame generation, but you can do it if you want to. But it feels super smooth at 20 watts. Just don't play it at 15 watts. Keep it at 20 with the custom manual mode and you should be good to go. Oh no, I'm tired. And again, on the smaller screen, I know 720 is not native resolution, but it might as well be. Because why would you play 1080p on such a small screen unless it's an older game? Makes no sense. Yeah, now it runs pretty cool, because we're at 20 watts. So yeah, 20 watts I think is perfect. Thank you guys so much. Again, you really made a difference. 15 watts is just not good enough horror games like this. This is the best balance, I would say. Anyway. So that will be my recommended setting, 720p quality with medium settings. Then, if you want frame generation, you can do it if you want to. It works. So let me add that, plus frame gen. Just to close up the video. And as you can see, the latency is pretty good. And we're inside the VRR range. Yeah, it's just that the edges of the screen sometimes kind of break with the frame generation, but it works. So, probably most people would use this. 720p medium, 20 watts on battery, so 120 minutes of battery. Sorry, 1 hour and 20 minutes of battery. FSR3 quality, frame generation, you're over 60, with fake frames, of course. But it looks pretty good. Road Rush, it's been a while. But it feels pretty good actually with the frame generation, even at this lower frame rate. That's pretty impressive actually. But they need to improve the frame generation. Just because of the minor things that I see at the top left corner of the screen especially. Maybe it's the UI that is being an asshole. Which is better, Steam Deck OLED or Legion Go, as your opinion? I mean, the user experience is way better on Steam Deck, just because of the fact that it has SteamOS. What? Oh. And the Legion Go is way more powerful. Has the same processor as this, but it's on Windows, and Windows is not amazing when it comes to portables. So yeah. Personally, I would choose the Steam Deck OLED, just because of the user experience. But the Legion Go is all about the performance, all about huge screen, very heavy, and yeah, and good battery life. So the OLED wins on battery life and user experience, Legion Go on performance and compatibility. The Steam Deck did pretty well actually, just rewind and you'll find it, it's pretty good. But my recommended settings for the ROG Ally, again talking about mostly a mix of battery life and visuals, is directly go for 720p medium, just like that. FSR3 quality, which again on the smaller screen looks pretty good. I hate boars in this. Frame generation, so you are into the 40s, but with frame gen you can get into the 90 FPS range, 80 to 90. If you don't mind, just disable frame gen. And if you want to play at 30 FPS, you can do 900p medium to high, plug it in to the dock basically. So yeah, thank you so much guys, I had enough. Just to close the video, I'm going to go super extreme with the settings, which means, again, when it comes to efficiency, the Steam Deck blew my mind on this game. The Steam Deck did basically at 9 watts, 10 watts, 30 FPS at 720 medium settings on quality mode. Like, a huge battery life thing, and it's the LCD Steam Deck, so it blew my mind. Okay. Yeah, so far the optimization here blew my mind as well. So we're at 1080p, quality FSR3, medium settings, and we're getting 30 FPS. So, if you want quality versus performance, I mean, you got it. This is 1080p. 1080p on quality FSR. Looks way sharper. So if you want sharpness with 90 minutes of battery, you can do this. Isn't it crazy, guys, that we can do this? I mean, I'm on battery right now. What are the equivalent settings on PS5? I'm not sure, probably high settings. But what happens if we go turbo? So imagine you're playing plugged in to a monitor, because this is actually 1080p. Well, if you do that, instead of getting 40 something FPS, sorry, we're not plugged in now, 48 versus 44, we lose 4 frames. So if you're plugged into a screen, you get 4 frames more, and you got basically the PS4 experience, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, 25 watts. If you don't care about battery life and warrant 4 extra frames, there you go. And if you plug in the charger, you have an extra 5 watts. Although if you play at 25 watts, like I'm doing right now, you have less than an hour of battery. So not worth it. Again, I think 1080p on a handheld is kind of pointless. Just do 720, frame generation, medium settings, FSR quality, and boom. 20 watts, forget about it, play 90 minutes, and it will be super smooth. So yeah, that's it. Have you tried 900p? Yes sir, it's 30 FPS. No problems whatsoever. I mean, if 1080p runs this well. So again, my advice, do like you guys teach me, 20 watts on everything. You can even do 1080p for 30 FPS, or do 720p with frame gen. Just one more time to finish the video, because this has me super excited. 1080p no FSR is not enough, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. So 720p, quality FSR, frame gen. And medium settings. And look at this. So cool. This is how you do it. This should give you decent battery life, similar to the LCD Steam Deck, but the performance is way better. So yeah, that's my advice. Yeah, I'm going to use the FSR mod later. It's just day 1 of testing, so don't worry. But yeah, this game is breathtaking, I agree. Can I wait for... Yeah, I don't remember how to wait for daytime. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching these live streams. I tested this on PC, on the Steam Deck, and on the ROG Ally. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did revisiting this game that I played on PS5. And the fact that you can play it off your battery 90 minutes at 720p with FSR and frame generation at such a good frame rate feels pretty smooth, and I'm pretty impressed, honestly. It feels so good to play like this. It's kind of crazy. And on the Steam Deck, it's also amazing. You can actually do 40 FPS sacrificing the graphics. But you can also play at 10 watts on the Steam Deck, have like 2 hours of battery, and do 720p medium settings with quality FSR. And thank you so much, Spencer Walker, for the $2 donation. He says, "Take my money, you beautiful man." Thank you, sir. I appreciate that a lot. So that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you. See you guys. Bye-bye.